Canada, Croeso Gymru, more specifically, welcome to just outside Pentravoidus near the A5. Young Mr. Dick Whistles, as you see there, wanted to take his new CT125 and see how it performed on fire roads and real, basically I suppose, gentle tracks. So I wheeled out the bullet, and the aim was that we'd take some photos and just have a little bit of a ride for the day. As usual, one of us was late. Yes, it was my turn. Apologies, Dick. Yeah, these things happen, but we never on time. We always muck something up. And off we set. We were in search of Llyn, Alwen. You can't get to it by road, so it has to be a bit of dirt riding. Yay! And it was a good excuse to see how the CT rode, and also how the new rear tyre on my bullet performed. Yes, I know I could have taken the CRF, but I thought it was a bit of an overkill considering we were only going to use fire roads. Only we chose not to use any fire roads. We had a lovely ride. As you can see, the surface is pretty good most of the time. There's the odd little bit, as you can expect. Sadly, I got some muck on the camera, and it's sort of not really given us some great footage, but it's something anyway. The thing with the Enfield is it weighs nearly 200 kilos, but it's just got a real tank-like demeanour about it. It goes and it just keeps on going. A real contrast to the lovely little lightweight CT. However, the fact that this has got so much inertia does make it quite funny. Here, Dick was discussing that what we would do is, because of the lumbering nature of the Enfield, he'd be going on ahead most of the time, so he could enjoy filming the inevitable disaster that would occur when bullet meets mountain, so to speak. So you'll have to wait and see if there are any disasters. But it's actually quite impressive, this bullet on this kind of road. It's happy. It's a happy bunny. It just keeps ploughing on. The CT, on the other hand, is a really agile little beast, and ever so lightweight. Now, when you look at it, you think it's never ever going to cope, but in reality, it's a fantastic design. Apparently, it's got a reinforced headstock and all sorts of bits on it compared to a standard Cub. Now, here we had an argument over whether or not I would tackle that lump of mud. I wouldn't. But watch this. That is a lot steeper than it actually looks on camera, and Dick just flew up it. And as for coming back down, it was really easy. There's no way I was prepared to risk the lump that is the bullet on it. I have a feeling it would plough into the ground and I wouldn't survive. In fact, when we discussed it, we think it would be a nightmare. Now, the question you're asking is, why didn't he go down into that puddle? Because that puddle, we think, is very deep. And yeah, we didn't really want to ruin a brand new motorcycle just for a bit of YouTube fun. So yeah, it's amazing. Coming up on this stretch is where I did have a bit of a problem with the bike, and with the nature of the way the tracks are, it doesn't look it, but actually you'll find that there is quite a drop. So the banks on either side are quite steep. Now, it's stopped me from riding when I've been on my own on some tracks with the bullet. But when I've been with someone else, I'm not so worried about it, because at least the two of us can heave the thing out. God, it takes some heaving, I can tell you. As you can see, Dick's able to fly along there, and he's got folding foot pegs so it can come in and get through. Me, on the other hand, the bike will just go, and it takes lumps of wells with it. And yeah, I forgot to put my feet in at one point, and I ripped my left leg, completely round to the side, and I was worried I might have really injured it. Hadn't, absolutely fine. And the bike was completely unfazed by it. It just removed a lump of Welsh mountain, or Welsh moorland, I should say. Dick was really gracious, and like Dave has been with me when I was in the CRF, kindly opened the gates for me to save me struggling on and off with my bad bits and pieces. So yeah, thanks to Dick for that. That's actually quite a good contrast. You can see how high the moorland is in regards to the actual wheel tracks. There you can see the shadow. This is a brilliant lane for any real riding. I mean, you don't have to be talented, you don't have to have a particularly super bike. As you can see, neither of our tyres are particularly aggressive on the front. I mean, you could argue that a TKC 80 on the back is reasonably aggressive, but it's not. You know, it's quite a 50-50. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's such an agile little bike, that CT. It's a cracker. It's equipped with a snorkel. As I said before, it's got reinforced frames on it, decent off-road pegs offering decent grip, beefed up tyres, beefed up suspension compared to a standard cub, and it's also got a massive luggage rack at the back. So imagine, you know, if you're a farming community or something like that, it's a get anywhere vehicle. I could quite easily imagine having a bag of sheep's feed, cattle feed, horse feed, something like that, and strapping that on the back and then going across the fields to my flock. Admittedly, in Australia that might be quite a long way. For people over here, obviously that's ideal. Also, I reckon if you're camping, that'll be, you know, a similar case. I'm not showing any on-road riding. We did do a little bit of on-road riding after the lane. Unfortunately, I had to call the day short due to issues beyond our control. Things happen at home in real life, unfortunately. And yeah, it's cracking. Dick's obviously still running it in, so he's being careful with it. But yeah, it's great fun. At last, our two intrepid explorers set their eyes upon their target. It's been a long, long expedition. It's been hard going. There have been injuries. There's been drought. There's been pestilence. There's been plague. But they've made it. Here in the middle of nowhere. Well, seriously, actually, it's not a bad place, is it really? You can't get here by road, only by track, and we've made it. I'm not covering the journey back, certainly not in this video. I might do on another one, it depends on what the footage is like. But hey, we've reached our target. You may think they're unlikely off-roaders, but actually they're both perfectly okay on this kind of surface. The only criticism of the Enfield was the foot pegs, which I keep moaning about. But yeah, we did it. I think we're rather impressive. That is quite a steep slope there you're actually looking at, and with the high banks either side of the track, it is a bit difficult, but as you'll see, we make it down to the gateway. Yeah, So Dick Whistle said we'll just do a couple of fire tracks. It doesn't exactly look like the fire roads. Sorry about that, some motorbikes going past. Doesn't look like the fire roads that we went on were particularly fire roady, they were more muddy puddles. There we go, it's all good fun. Right, let's have a quick look at the back. It's not too bad. Interesting. Still got some spiky bits on. Have to put an end to that, won't we? Yuck. Right, see you in a minute. Bucket of water, that can only mean one thing. It does appear somebody's been getting a bit down and dirty. Yuck. Right, methinks we'll have to get some washing done.